you're an AD carry, and so you cannot go in right now. Your best bet is to run around in circles in this bush and wait for them to do something, especially wait for the Alistar to use his headbutt, and so he cannot gap close onto you anymore. And after you use this headbutt, you can then E plus R, but you walk too far forward and the Alistar just headbutts you, which instantly kills you basically. Welcome everyone, this is another viewer game analysis, and I am looking at a game played by the summoner called QueenSatima, and she, I assume you're a she because you have Queen in your name, is playing Thriller's build with Time Warp Tonic and Corrupting Potion, so well, right now it's still possible. The Time Warp Tonic nerfs should be live today, I think. Oh well, but this is Gold 5 Flex Q, and this is a rather interesting game, judging from the gold graph, because it involves major throws. Yeah, but let's see how she plays the lane phase. Well, first things first, look at the summoners. You are going teleport and flash. If it's working for you, then fine. I'm not a fan of it. And okay, so this is important. This is super important. Watch out. You see those minions? Right now, this is the second minion wave, and this minion is about to die. These three minions are, well, you need some resources to kill them still, and if you kill these three, you get level 2, both of you. If they kill this one, they get level 2, both of them. And Alistar level 2 is just so brutal, especially when you're still level 1. So let's see what happens. The minion dies, they reach level 2, you don't back off. So you get comboed by the Alistar and eat a lot of damage. Yeah, and oh, I see, nice. Okay, I thought you were in lane without heal. I didn't watch the Lux summoners, but you do have heal. However, you are down a summoner, and it's looking ugly. Additionally, this build is not too good against Alistar because of Alistar's passive, so the harass is not as meaningful. You're sitting at 1 Corrupting Potion stack, so the heal was maybe a little premature. Lux shouldn't have healed. She should have used her potion, and you should have used yours. Heal is just such an important combat summoner spell in a duo lane. Okay, but you're still doing your thing, you're still harassing, and it's working nicely. Well, you are currently down some CS, but lasting in a tower is not the easiest task, and additionally the level 2 pressure costs you also a lot of... oh, that's painful. That's painful. Missing last hits like this is super painful. Okay, you are now 6 CS down already, that's an entire wave. And Lux gets initiated upon by the Alistar. Nothing too bad happens though, since Kai'Sa doesn't follow up. Yeah, but this is one of the most important things, and probably one of the things that's holding you back. Just watch your last hits and watch the lane power spikes. Missing a level 2 power spike like this against Alistar is just so huge. Well, to be fair, Kai'Sa Alistar is probably one of the hardest lanes to deal with at all stages in the game. Well, since Kai'Sa obviously is pretty ridiculous right now. What's going on there? Who's pinging for help? Oh well. What? Where did Amumu die? His body needs to be somewhere. Oh yeah, there he died. Nice! Well, that's motivating. However, you fell even further behind in farm. Come on, get this. Prepare this. Okay, it walks out of tower again. It is tough to last it with such little attack speed, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this is one problem I have with this build too, it's just so clunky in the early game. I also miss, like, every other last hit in the first two waves, which obviously shouldn't happen, especially now that my elo. As soon as you get to higher ranks, you get punished super hard for falling behind in CS. Unlucky. You didn't even get the minion, and you got punished by the Alistar for the approach. Well, for your attempt, rather. You didn't approach him. Out of stacks, and the next biscuit is coming in 10 seconds, so you should be fine still. But yeah, Time Warp Tonic is such a key piece to the build that I'm not sure how they what was that? Oh, the counter gank, that's not good. Nice flash, nice flash. Alistar gets you though. Or does he? Yeah, nice, just keep running. There's no reason to risk anything there. You got out alive. Just back, just back. There's not much to gain there. They are losing. Oh damn, it's not on a turret. So they're not losing farm. But you gain a tempo advantage if you back right now. And by tempo I mean you arrive to lane earlier than them and can start exerting lane pressure. This is typically what an overstay is. An overstay is tempo disadvantage, if you want to put it like that. Alright, so you teleported. The teleport was not necessary because the wave was... oh, well, now that I look at it, it might have been necessary. Well, the Kai'Sa didn't look like she was about to freeze the wave on you. But if she were to, you needed to teleport. But if she just pushed like this, you don't need to teleport because the wave still needs some time to reach the turret. And you have quite a lot of movement speed with W. Buying Warhammer first is probably a mistake. You should be buying your lethality components first. Kai'Sa with the BF sword, so you are at quite a significant item disadvantage and should not be looking to fight them. Yeah, this is where the CS difference really starts to show. You are now, well, she has 15 more AD than you. But she's taking some time, losing all this farm. This is not too good for her. This is dangerous, you need to respect the Alistar, yeah. Well, you do have your Time Warp Tonic and all the potions, so the little bit of damage is not too big of an issue. Still, you should get into the habit of respecting the zone Alistar puts out with his abilities. Yeah, he's approaching you again. The Lux's job is now to throw spells at him. Oh well. She didn't retreat far enough. That was okay. I would have probably E'd the Syndra there, so she has less of a chance of reaching one of you. Oh, there I can see. You're still maxing E, which is fine. Did you just reach level 6, or could you have pressed R earlier? No, you are level 6 already. Yeah, this is, with better reaction time, you are right now. You woke up way too far. Had you R'd immediately, she would have definitely died. Especially had you bought the Serrated Dirk. Maybe even she would have died had you bought Serrated Dirk and done exactly what you did there. Yeah, missing the damage from not having lethality really hurts you. You could have gotten a kill right there. Either by pressing R immediately or by just buying Serrated Dirk instead of Warhammer. It's definitely an issue. Okay, Mumu doing his thing. Kai'Sa backs though, they are back, so you should be shoving this immediately and as hard as you can. Just shove. Use all your abilities. You have so much mana, use all your abilities on the wave, just hard shove it. Okay, there. Finally you're doing... Oh, keep auto-attacking! Auto the minions! Q the minions! Okay. Yeah, you lost a lot of tempo because of that. You should have hard shoved the wave. And now you stayed. And the problem with this is... Is there a problem? You are down to 1 stack, which is still fine. And... How much gold do you have? Ooh, that's a lot. You could have easily gotten an advantage there. Okay, had you hard shoved the wave and then immediately backed, you would be returning to lane about now. And the wave is still here. And you would come with a serrated dirk. Which is huge. Okay. Yeah, that was... You had pretty much no chance to fight them there effectively. With item disadvantage. Unlucky though. Alistair goes roaming. You see him on the map, so you don't need to be too afraid. You should be Eing the Kai'Sa constantly. Okay. Almost. Almost. Maybe next time. Just E to stop her back. Yeah, nice. And here's the thing, even if it's a fake back to bait you, she still eats 3 damage, because she cannot punish your E no matter what. You need vision in this bush. Syndra sitting there is this problem. Yeah, you're getting 4-manned. You knew at least the Syndra was there, so you should have stayed farther back. And the advantage you would have been getting is Anivia shoving the wave. And just don't risk dying there, so it's never worth for the Syndra. Okay, Amumu gets the Alistair at least. No, Anivia joins. Yeah, but you dying there was just greedy. You didn't need to die there. Just stay back while you don't see the Syndra. Oh, well, you pretty much know the Syndra is sitting in this bush right there, so you definitely stay back. Okay, at least the Syndra died. What are you waiting for? You got your duck and... Not too sure what's... are you waiting 50 gold? At least sell a cookie. If you want to wait for your lethality item. Yeah, that's way too long. You wait way too long in base. I assume you... Well, look at the wave. These minions just ate an entire wave there and will eat the next one, and you won't get any experience and any gold. And now you're at 700, and now you buy... Yeah, that was a huge mistake. You cannot wait that long. And at least if you do it, sell your biscuits so you don't need to wait super long. You still get the 40 mana, by the way, if you sell it. So don't feel bad about selling those. Just sell your biscuits, you do get the mana if you sell them. Alright, but you now put yourself massively behind in farm and tempo. Yeah, never do that. The maximum amount I would wait is 20 gold, I think. If I'm sitting at 650, I would have just bought boots plus longsword. Or boots plus... What boots do you... what upgrade do you need here? You probably want to go Swifty. Is there boots plus longsword? If you're in a ninja tabby game, you can go boots plus cloth armor too. But just buy boots and longsword and run back to lane. It's way better. You need the gold and the experience. So important. Everyone's missing right now. Retreat. You need to retreat right now. You need to retreat. 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 Please. Please. Okay. False alert. You see the Syndra and now you see the Cyan, but it was still risky. You should have retreated, and then when you see them, you can come back. But if they are all missing and there's a dragon on the map, you need to just assume they're collapsing on you and looking to take the dragon right after. It's the only logical play for them. This ward right there is fine-ish, but of course Alistair just sweeps it. Damn. Huh. That was absolutely preventable. My favorite advice for players like you is... this is still the direct initiation phase. This is creating... the Camille ult is creating the fight or flight response from your team. And there's an AD carry. Well, your team now needs to decide if they want to go in or not, and this Amumu definitely looks like he wants to go in. But you are not an AD... well, you are not a tank, you're an AD carry, and so you cannot go in right now. Your best bet is to run around in circles in this bush and wait for them to do something, especially wait for the Alistair to use his headbutt, and so he cannot gap close onto you anymore. And after you use this headbutt, you can then E plus R. But you walk too far forward and the Alistair just headbutts you, which instantly kills you basically. You're not, after he headbutts you, you're not getting into a position where you can do anything. You cannot ult because he can still pulverize you and trample you. And you need to get space. Yeah, and you die for that. AD carry team fighting is not very easy, but you need to be patient. I just got deleted because of positioning. Always have to keep in mind what's going to kill you. What's going to kill you in this very team fight, and in this situation it's obviously the Alistair jumping on you. Sion is not too big of an issue. If he doesn't have his ultimate, he cannot gap close onto you. And as long as they don't reach you, you can just kite them out with your strut. Yeah. Unfortunate. That should be a serrated dirk. Oh, you still buy the Warhammer first. Alright, so this seems to be a thing you do on a regular basis, but please don't. Please always buy the lethality component first. It's so much better. You going top lane is a nice play. Teleporting there is also acceptable when you look at the waves, so this is fine. And the enemy is still... well, they still have not really recovered from the fight. They are still... okay, Sion reached the lane now. So this is your cue to leave, which you do, which is nice. You should be running towards Dragon. This is also... had Amumu communicated properly what he was about to do, you could have gone bot lane, but... on the other hand, there's really not a scenario in which red team could have challenged your dragon attempt there, so it's still fine in my opinion. Okay, so you do max W second. Thriller doesn't do this, but I personally don't see a problem with maxing W second, so it's fine, I think. Thriller, however, maxes Q second, and he said there's no specific reason for this either. He just has success with it, and so he doesn't change what he's maxing. So he goes EQW, but I think EWQ also works. Yeah. Very nice that you retreated there. Go in, go in, go in. Yeah, you were a little bit too far back. As soon as Amumu jumps in, you need to run forward. So you get yourself in a position where you can ult if the situation calls for it. Yeah, that was bad communication in a team fight. You need to watch the Amumu's body language. And yeah, this is exactly the same thing that happened to you earlier. You try to bail the Amumu out, but then he dies, and then it's a 3v2, and none of them is severely damaged. So right now, what can What can kill you there is anyone gap closing onto you, and that's not only the Alistair, but also the Camille, as you see right there. You pretty much walk into Camille's range, and then you even backstep forward and die for it, obviously. Yeah, as an AD carry, you cannot afford to do things like that. Yeah, Nivea does too. Yeah, as soon as you're outnumbered, you should not be looking for a fight. You should, on the contrary, do everything to prevent a fight. And that includes, obviously, running out of their range. Yeah, due to all the deaths, you also start to fall behind in farm quite a bit. You are 30 farm behind the Kai'Sa, which is 2 kills worth of gold. And compared to the game timer, you are 80 farm behind. What are your items doing? Okay, so you got double longsword, but no boots yet. Considering how often people just jump on you for free, you should probably have bought Swifties already. Yeah, this is fine. You can push the lane past river and then leave. Just E the casters and auto each of them once. You can do that as soon as you have level 7, so 4 points in E. E the backline, auto each of them once, and then they all die. This is too far. You have a huge target above your head. You're still the AD carry. You shouldn't be there. There's something going to happen in the top side of the map, and you already pushed past river, and you're still going to. No. You're not. No. Go away. You're not a split pusher. Don't do this. First of all, you are very easy to kill for anyone who's going to jump on you, and the second point is your team is missing your damage in the team fight. What you should be doing is wait for Amumu to get a good ultimate off and then ult yourself. This could be somewhat acceptable if you know for sure nobody can jump on you and you have teleports off cooldown, but it's currently on cooldown, so it's never a good play there. Macro wise, you should be supporting your team with your damage. And Lux coming with you is also a great mistake. She also needs to stick with her team. Yeah, you auto the backline once after make a drain and they all die. I just pretend you didn't miss the cannon minion, okay. No, Kai'Sa's coming. You're basically trying to reinitiate laning phase, which doesn't work simply. If the enemy reacts to that properly, which means Camille, for example, just coming and killing you all. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. You're so easy to kill, you just wasted all your summoners and you're probably still dead. Yeah, so this death is 100% your macro play mistake. $1.6k, so you should be buying Dustblade plus tier 1 boots or something. Are you still deciding? Maybe, but you definitely need boots. 100%. Especially when going for a split push like this, you need boots. I'm not a fan of split pushing AD carries. You just got your team's team fighting potential. Okay, so you skip boots altogether, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Well, you lost Infernal. And this is also due to your macro mistake. Wait. What are you doing? You Ghostblade to the objective that's no longer there, and okay. First of all, there is nothing to fight for. Infernal Drake is already gone, and now you all die for no reason. Yeah, and your main job as an AD carry in the mid game and late game is to not get caught out and not get initiated upon. And this is exactly what happened. And then you just die one by one, which is terrible. Wow, that was bad. Holy moly. The Baron pings are coming. Yep. Don't get caught, please. And the instant surrender vote. Alright, you are behind right now, and by a mile, so you should be trying to ward up your jungle and somehow establish some sort of temporary vision on Baron. Doesn't matter if they can clear it, as long as you see them going to that area, you still can react to their play. And this is exactly what you need to do when you're behind. You need to react to what the enemy is doing. You can no longer be proactive without just throwing the game away even further. Yeah, you're standing way too far up front. Vision is key, and you don't have any vision whatsoever. Not even in your jungle, let alone the enemy jungle. So pushing that far while being behind, now this is exactly what I mean. This is a proactive play, but you need to play reactively. And to die for that. That looked so weird, holy moly. This game is still winnable though. You just need to to get your shit together. 3 versus 5, super bad idea. Especially when you're that close to your turret. Amumu initiated there, and you're already outnumbered by 2 people. Difference, 3 versus 5, and you don't even bait them into diving you, so the turret can assist you. No, the Amumu goes there, and this is probably this fight is super lost from the get-go. The team is definitely not knowing what they are doing. Not too much you can do there. This ult was probably one of the only things you could have done, but there's no way you can hold the structures there. Just defend those 2 turrets. What? What is this teleport? I don't know what you tried to do there, but you definitely don't teleport there. Oh goodness. Had you teleported there, the Kai'Sa would have instantly killed you and they would have taken Baron. Just look at the item difference. Kai'Sa is sitting at 3 attack speed items. You cannot duel her. Okay, as long as you keep vision around the Baron area, it's not over. Oh, you're too close, you're too close, you're too close, you don't have boots. Okay, you're outnumbering them, which is good. Alistair dies and Syndra is super out of position. She's She should be dead. Kai'Sa is not there, so is Lux, but she's still outnumbered 4 versus 3. Just always look who's outnumbering whom. This instantly tells you how the team fight is going to play out. Okay, you should use this window of opportunity to take Baron, definitely. MF, come on. Come on, no, wrong direction. Go there. There's the Baron. Nice. You're not the best at baking Baron. At taking Baron. Baking Baron sounds like an interesting cooking receipt. However, or baking receipt rather. Well, however, you can take this Baron for pretty much free since you just won a team fight around the Baron area, and this is your chance to make a comeback happen. Yeah, just go to a safer spot. It's fine. You have Duskblade, so you know if you're spotted or not. And yeah, just recall at the tower. It's fine. 1.4k. Still no boots. I think this build needs boots. The only build that can justify not buying boots, in my opinion, is the full lethality Dark Harvest build, because the reward you get for not buying boots is definitely there, since lethality, when you just stack lethality, well, you're stacking lethality too, but you do not have the big payoff with Dark Harvest, and when you stack lethality, it's obviously amplifying itself greatly because of how armor works in this game, but the big payoff is the accumulation of a lot of Dark Harvest stacks, and without Dark Harvests you cannot one-shot anyone. So you might as well. You can still go for full lethality. Thriller does this and it works, but going boots is helping you more than it hurts you. So you should buy boots with this build. Nice pickup. You, generally speaking, as a team in this situation, should not be looking for fights in the jungle because you do have Baron buff. So yeah, okay, now you're at the lane, but you don't have your minions. But with Baron buff, you want to abuse Baron buff. You want to buff up your minions and then just take every structure. Generally speaking, you got some free pickups, which is nice. So just keep on pushing, but you should you should be picking up the wave. You kind of push without minions. Yeah, taking red buff is fine, but still you should be grouping. Mid lane grouping is actually nice because you pretty much negate the super minions with Baron minions, and they still cannot. They still have to deal with Baron minions, so you still push them in. Don't chase into the jungle. Just stay with your minions. All right, nice. You're a little bit late to the party, though. Did you greed for an item buy? I wonder. Yeah, this is where you put yourself in tempo disadvantage. Yeah, you should be going with your team. You are sitting on quite a bit of gold, but still, you are not being there equals you are not using any of your gold in the team fight, and yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, this might be a game that is decided by tempo advantage and disadvantage. The ult is fine. Okay, so you still get your damage off, which is important, obviously. Just run. Okay, now you can start taking turrets instead of. Why are you recalling? Why would you ever recall in that situation? Just take this turret. And take the next one too. They can't do anything about it. Alistar was top lane, and you have Baron buff. You can easily just push in the entire lane. Oh well. They just lost a team fight. They are not grouped. They cannot contest you, especially not when you have Baron buff. Just push in the lane. Oh well. Oh well. Whenever you win a team fight, and you won a team fight there, you need to look for what can you take next. And you could have taken this turret 100%, which you did. Well, Amumu did. And if you had stayed, you could have taken this turret too. 100%. Maybe even the inhibitor, but I'm not too sure. Maybe just the turret. But even this turret is so important. It's probably one of the hardest turrets. It's the hardest turret to take, leaving out those two. So the third hardest, if you want to put it like this. Oh well. Let's see how it goes. Collapsing on the Alistar is fine, as long as the team doesn't get caught out, which they do. That was a nice ulti. Yeah, you should win this fight, shouldn't you? Yeah, just kite out Sion passive. He cannot do anything to you. Ouch. You need to stay away from the Syndra, you die for that. And the worst part is you even flash too. You were 100% dead as soon as she was in range for her ulti. So you should have held on to your flash. I should have held on to your flash, yeah. And now Baron is on the map in 1 minute. Which might be a deciding team fight. I'll just speed this up since you're dead. Okay. Right now, obviously the teams group around Baron and fight for Vision. Anivia is bot lane, which is okay since she has teleport. But you should be trying to establish vision control over the Baron area, which is also happening, so everything fine so far. But you should not be showing on in the mid lane. Yeah. Yeah, you saw that? You're pretty much putting yourself in a bad spot there. By doing this, and then running through the choke point, you have no space to escape. Yeah, you cannot loop around there. You should have gone there at the very least. And you could have avoided this situation altogether by just not going mid lane for no reason. And you don't really want to fight there. You do want to retreat. You want to retreat and bait them into starting Baron, then you fight them while Baron is debuffing and attacking them. And so they back off, or they try to fight you, then you back off. So you're pretty much dancing with them, and meanwhile, Anivia is taking Structure's bot side, but you get hard engaged on, which pretty much costs you the game. It should. You should lose for this. Anivia gets an inhib, but they have 4 people. 5 people. Where is 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, Syndra recalled to answer the Anivia, which is a mistake. Syndra should have just pushed with her team. Anivia cannot outpush 5 people. So you just base race, and 5 versus 1 base race is definitely in red team's favor. Yeah, but this is a game that was 100% lost due to tempo disadvantages and positioning, which kind of feeds into the tempo disadvantage. And also maybe summoner spell choice, maybe item build choice. Not buying boots in a build like this. Oh well. But I hope you all could learn something and you enjoy the series. I think you do. It's always you're always pretty excited when I post something like this. But if you want to be featured, just leave a comment with not only your summoner name but also your server name. This is important, else I won't find your profile. And yeah, if you liked, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe for more Misfortune content. And see you tomorrow.